welcome to the Sci-Fi Invasion. I'm your host, Joey Hollywood, and I'm trying to get through all 50 movies in this Sci-Fi Classics box set in 50 weeks. The movie I watched today was called Attack of the Monsters from 1969. Now, when I put this on, I did not know what this was. I go into all these movies blind, and with this one, I put it on, and I was getting some serious deja vu. I was like, man, this movie seems really familiar. I watch a lot of kaiju flicks, so it's possible I've seen this before. And then, boom, it all started to make sense. This is a Gamera movie, and I love the Gamera movies. I own all of them right here. These are some of the older releases. These ones from Mill Creek here, they are exclusively the Japanese versions. There's been a subsequent re-release from Arrow Video that contains both the Japanese and the American versions, and eventually I'll upgrade to that because I guess I'm a horrible person because I kind of prefer the American versions. They're just the ones I grew up with. But oh, and yeah, I also have the Heisei era stuff here. Also, this also has been re-released. I don't think this one has, but I don't know. I'll find out eventually. I love the Heisei version. I've seen the Heisei ones, particularly these three, a million times. The Showa era stuff, I'm not as familiar with. I've probably seen them the most with Mystery Science Theater commentary. From what I recall, this particular movie, Attack of the Monsters, was really fun on Mystery Science Theater. It's been so long I can't really speak to that. Although there were a couple scenes in here that resurfaced some memories of watching that show. This one's about two little boys, one Japanese, the other one's American, I believe. He's a white kid. And they see a spaceship land, and they go and inspect it, and the spaceship takes off with them inside. And it takes them to this planet where there's these two alien women who are trying to be their friends, you know, like, oh yeah, we're here to help you. But they're secretly cannibals, and they want to eat the little kids' brains. It's goofy fun in a Japanese kids movie is what it is. Of course, there's, you know, giant kaiju monsters in here. There's the ones that Gamera fights in basically every movie. My knowledge of the Showa era Gamera stuff is not as good as I guess it should be, because I can't remember if this is the first time you see some of these monsters or if they've been out for a while. I'm not really sure. I don't really care. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's the one monster that's face looks like a knife, and that's the main antagonist of the movie. And Gamera fights him. All the fighting in this movie, all the giant monster fight stuff looks great. That's one thing I can never really fault about the Gamera movies, is the giant monster stuff tends to look pretty good. I can't say the same for a lot of the Showa era Godzilla stuff. There's some stuff that looks really bad, especially when you get into like Godzilla's Revenge and the other one with Gamera's son, Godzilla's son. But the Gamera stuff, they tend to look pretty good, even if they look really goofy, especially the underwater stuff in this movie. The underwater fighting in this movie looks great. Some of my favorite stuff in the film. I kind of forgot how much I love Gamera. And for those of you who don't know, Gamera is like Godzilla. He's a giant monster, but instead of being like a big lizard, Gamera is a big turtle. And if that sounds dumb to you, well, hear me out. This turtle can fly. He spins like a little spinner rocket thing, and it's so goofy, it's so fun, but I love it. And while this is not one of my favorite Gamera films, it was, from what I recall, one of my favorites of the Mystery Science Theater episodes. But I preferred the first Gamera film of the Showa era. That's just my recollection. It's been many years since I've watched these. But yeah, I liked this one a lot. One of the intrusive memories I had of watching the Mystery Science Theater episode, there's a part where Gamera grabs a bar and spins on it. And the first thing that popped in my head when I saw that was one of the robots, or maybe even Joel from Mystery Science Theater, going, "This movie's a little silly." it just occurred to me this movie's a little silly or something like that, something along those lines. And but yeah, this one's a lot of fun. I recommend it. I recommend most of the Gamera movies. I think there's only like one or two that I personally didn't like. But yeah, I like this one, and I hope to see you next week. Remember, please be kind and rewind.